Hey guys, welcome back to some more Overhit. In today's video, I've tried my best to create a full SR Fafnir raid team. Just for those people that don't have a Tez, because like I showed in one of my previous videos, I still use Tez. I just got it at +1, but I was using her at +0 with just as basically as a sacrificial lamb so that I could get that leader skill. Obviously Tez being so powerful with that 35% attack and the big thing being the 5% crit rate. So I've tried to make another team. That normal Tez team that I do with Young Lek as my damage dealer normally sits around about 300k damage on Fafnir level 8. This new team, I'll take you through a run at the end, and we'll see how we go. But I think it's around 250k, and I'll show you the team now. So the team is going to have my same normal healer core of Cicero. And everyone is on full 5-star gear for my team at the moment. As you can see, Cicero's heal is maxed. Sorry, it's Cicero. I do always say that wrong. Someone corrected me. So you got Cicero, you got Proxy as my other healer. And then we have Alcon as the final healer in my team. So that's my main healing core in most of my teams. Alcon's still only A grade. And then you've got the other two at S grade. And the final 2 units for the team, what we've done is we've gone back to Dominique, and I actually S-graded her. Now, what I've noticed through testing now with Dominique, and why I really like Young Lek more, because obviously Young Lek, you can just get that leader skill off Tez, which is amazing, but this team is obviously if you don't have Tez. But the big thing I've noticed in rotationally is the cooldown. She's got a 94-second cooldown on her nuke, whereas Young Lek, I think it says 72-second. So it is a big difference, and that is pretty much where the whole difference in the damage is. The multipliers are really close to each other, and their base stats are exactly the same. So damage output-wise, the Dominique's really good, except it is just that cooldown that really hurts her. So I have tried to put this skill cooldown reduction trinket on her just to try and bring those cooldowns back a bit and get her to use her ability more often. But that's where she's at. She's S grade, and we have maxed that skill 2. The skill 1 we haven't actually gone ahead and maxed yet, but it is what it is. We don't really use that skill anyway because we normally go for Alcon's second skill to get the damage reduction, and he does have a pretty decent multiplier on it as well. And then the final unit in the team, obviously we're not using the Tez now. We needed another leader skill, and the leader skill we have gone with is actually from Hecate. If I said that wrong, I apologize. But when we look at her leader skill, it's basically just the Tez leader skill minus the crit rate, which sucks, means you can't bring Young Lek. For me personally, you could try bringing Young Lek in with this team, but you would have to use his crit buff, his first skill, to buff himself to make the second skill proc the extra damage. And for me, I don't have the room in my rotation to get that through reliably enough. So that is why we've gone with this. Now, it is only attack of physical type allies, but if you hit this more button where you see the combat ability number of your hero, you can see the first thing is there, it says inflicts physical damage, which is the physical type. And then actually when you go through it, like I thought maybe Proxy would be magic type, but he's actually physical type as well, inflicts physical damage. And then the other one that I wasn't sure about was Alcon, and Alcon also inflicts physical damage. So every member on this team is actually a physical damage dealer, so every member is gaining that 35% attack from that leader skill. The only thing we're missing is that crit rate, which is obviously making me sub out the Dominique in for the Young Lek. And the thing about Hecate is I've been building her to test her in Arena. What I've found is her damage, if we look at her multiplier, and it must be the gear I have as well, just her damage is less than Alcon, so I don't actually even end up using her skills. Sometimes I chain this towards the end off of Alcon's damage reduction to try and really reduce the damage the boss does, so that we can have maybe a minute and a half's worth of just damage output. But besides that, I don't really get around to using this because Alcon's has more damage tied to it. So the basic rotation we're going to look at is basically just trying to get Dominique's skill 2 in off cooldown, and then between that we're healing and using Alcon's second skill. And that's pretty much the rotation we go for. So once again, this isn't like the best Fafnir team. It's just that I feel like you hit a real bottleneck in raid progression when you don't have your SSR units built. Like I've seen with people with the like identical team to mine, but with a +5 TES, you know, they're up around that 600k damage. So the TES, like having those SSR units, you know, maxed out makes a huge difference to your teams. So I just thought I'd try and work something out. You know, some people didn't get TES at the start. They don't have that leader skill to help them with the young Glek. I just thought I'd build the team, see how it works, get Dominique up to S grade, and see what you can really achieve at a base, you know, 5-star equipment level on your team for just using SR units. Obviously, you know, you can mix in SSRs here and there, but I just wanted to try the full SR team. So what we'll do is we'll jump into raid and we'll actually do a test run. Jump over to Fafnir over here. Let's see, refresh that, make sure that's still going. Actually, we'll just start a fresh one just so we don't get the boss cleared before we can do a full damage. So we'll go into level 8. We'll check the formation. And that's pretty much what I'm going to go for. I did consider using the Hecate as a sacrificial lamb on the front row because I don't really use her that much. The same way that I use the Tez in my other team, so that the boss's first damage over time effect would land on her, probably kill her, but it would save my my other units from receiving it. But this is the way I've tested it so far, so we'll see how we go. We'll save that and jump into the battle, and let's go. Alright, Fafnir, here we go. Skip that. Alright, so what I'm going to actually open with is Alcon damage reduction and then go straight into Dominique's second skill. I found just through testing that if I do the Alcon skill first and then Dominique, I'm pretty reliably the 2 units that do get hit first will survive that next hit to allow me to heal on the 3rd turn. So as you can see there, the Alcon and the Cicero got that. They should be right now. We did get some decent damage out that. We're out to 50k. And now we're just going to heal. Like I said, that Alcon first basically clutches me being able to survive. If I use Dominique first, it gets real close. So that's why I just like to go with that. We'll follow this up with another Alcon skill 2, just to get that damage mitigation up. And this is the basic rotation we go through. So we'll do that Alcon skill, and then we'll punch heal with Alcon and get that attack buff rolling as well. Hopefully he'll drop. Okay, so Dominique isn't going to get the attack buff. I might even experiment with putting Dominique in the middle row, but I just don't think she'd take that damage over time effect too well. What we might do here is even, let's see what damage we take. No, I think we'll go for this skill. We'll stack the damage decreasing there, and we should be pretty good. So next up, we could go the defense buff, but because we've got the damage decrease on the boss, I feel like we will just go for Dominique again. And see what we can't get out of that for damage. Get that 25k up. And then after that one, we're going to have to get the defense buff up here just to survive. Cicero should be fine here, so should Proxy. They should just eat that up pretty well and get the big heal. Perfect. Now we'll go for the damage reduction on the boss again. And this is just the rotation. And it actually does mitigate pretty good damage once you can stack those 2 mitigating skills. And then straight out of that, because our Dominique is low now, hopefully she will receive this attack buff. Hopefully the others don't drop below her. And that will make her next skill 2 do really good damage. So yep, that's perfect. Exactly what we wanted to happen there. We'll get that out. What we're going to do now is roll into the heal from... Yep, we'll do this because those 2 are both getting hit. They'll get low. So we'll use the proxy heal straight into Dominique and hopefully get a good chunk of damage out of that. And then we're just about into the YOLO mode where we just want to go for all damage. We will probably throw a defense buff heal from Cicero in there. But besides that, we're really just going to go Dominique into the 2 damage reduction abilities, and then hopefully that will allow us to mitigate enough damage to get a good chunk out at the end here. We're up to 210k, which isn't too bad. The boss just did his breath there. If he hits Alcon here, we're going to go for this. If not, we might go for the heal. So we'll see if he hits Alcon. We'll see what we do. Okay, he did hit Alcon. We're just going to go for it. Go YOLO. Try and get the heal from Alcon's attack buff so that we can get some extra auto attack damage out of the rest of our team. We're not going to get another Dominique skill 2 in after this, which does kind of suck, but it is what it is. So we've got that big heal. We're going to go for a Dominique skill 1 into an Alcon skill 2, and that will be basically the rest of our damage for this team. So I don't even know if we will get the Alcon. We're going to go just for Alcon because my Dominique skill 2 isn't maxed. My Alcon actually does more with this one. So there we go. And I think that is going to be all the damage we're going to get out of it for now. And that's time. So 264,470. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not game breaking. I think with my Young Glek comboed with, what was it, the Tez, the best I've got is about 330, 340,000. So it is a big difference between the Young Glek and the Dominique. Like I said, it's just that cooldown. If they did reduce the cooldown on Dominique, I feel like the damages would be very, very similar. So, you know, it is where it is, but that's sort of the best team that I could come up with. Like I said, it may look like in that rotation that I have enough room to maybe go skill 1 into skill 2 with Young Glek, but the reason I do have time to chain 2 damaging abilities in there is because I am chaining those damage reduction abilities, and that's what allows me to have the sustainability to actually chain those skills. I just don't think I'd be able to go Young Glek skill 1 into skill 2 to get that same sort of damage. So that's going to be where the team's at. The Hecate, I probably will do a video on her alone a bit later on. Like I said, that damage just isn't quite where I'd hope it would be for this skill. Like I said, my Alcon actually does do more damage than her with his one, and he gets more damage reduction by about 1%. So he does sort of outshine her. I've been testing her in arena a little bit. Not overly hyped about her. Like, it is good where she does target, but we will get onto that video at a later stage. But that is the team, guys. Just trying to replace that Tez leader skill with something to make a viable comp. And pretty much that's where I'm at for Raid 8 and with the full SR team. So thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.